You will record pa.
Just in case.
I'll be quoted, ganun ba?
Yes.
I'll be quoted many times.
For the first question. Sir, how is the thought process of someone in the creatives department differ from the thought process of a person in another department?
Other department meaning what?
The accounts department.
Well, basically, creative department, you think of creative work, you think of ideas for your for the ad, and how you can communicate the ad in a very creative way.
How do creative awards affect you in your thought process, and why or how?
How do the creative awards affect me and my thought process? Oh, a great deal. Creative awards is one tough competition, especially for the international awards. So you really have to be, well, smart. You have to outwit them, outwin them, and all that stuff. You have to really research, make sure that what you're creating or what you want to enter for the creative award hasn't been done yet, or it will cut across all the other competition. Competitors involved. So it's really tough creating an award-winning work. It's really, really tough. Yeah. So just to show you how tough it is, I can show you the dead people there beside.
Seriously, dead people. Does it motivate you if some other company gets an award?
Nakakainis pag nanalo sila, dapat kami nanalo, of course. Yes, definitely it motivates us to work harder and get that award-winning idea come to life, meaning produced in aired or to the client, all that process.
Sir, in your personal opinion and based on your experience, what is the heart and soul of a brilliant ad campaign?
The heart and soul of a brilliant ad campaign is that one, it should connect to the consumer. I mean, it should make sense to the consumer. To the eyes of the consumer, it should be something new as well. At the same time, it should work for the brand, meaning it shouldn't only be for creativity's sake. I mean, it should somehow translate into the brand's business. I mean, that is I think one of the brilliant ad campaigns, essential qualities of one brilliant ad campaign. And I think it should stand the test of time as well. I mean, for example, you have a tagline. That tagline is being said by you and your niece and your daughter perhaps, or ganon.
Has there ever been an occasion in where you felt that an ad campaign would not be a hit, but it proved to ultimately be a successful one?
Has there ever been an occasion where there are times wherein you kind of doubt if the ad campaign would really work. But then at the end of the day, you just have to trust your instinct about it. And given all the research data, from the client side, even to the research data or the agency side, the research agencies. At the end of the day, and you have already put all your creative juices into it, and everybody has invested a lot of talent into it. At the end of the day, there's only one way to find out. Air it.
Yeah.
Find it, and let's see how people react, especially nowadays, even in the digital world. Sometimes the ad or the campaign is dictated by what the consumer wants.
How does the creatives department capitalize on certain seasons of the year?
Meaning parang summer, winter, autumn, fall,
Yeah, like maybe Christmas season, summer season.
How do we? Well, we just do ads related to that season, basically. Mostly, it's not basically not the advertising agency that capitalizes on it, but it's more on the client that capitalizes on it, and they come to us with a particular brief and project, that would fall into that particular season. For example, back to school or Valentine's or Mother's Day, Father's Day, Pets Day, or whatever day you call it, Christmas Day, New Year's Day. So all those days.
Every day.
Every day. Yeah. So yes, how does we capitalize? Well, we just do the work specifically for that. Okay.
What are some of the setbacks that could happen in the creatives department?
I mean setbacks. Setbacks. Well, there are many. There are many setbacks that can happen in a creative department. One is that when you are, when you lack the talent that you need for the creative department. When people, start to move around from one agency to another, and you lose the good talent that you have in a creative department. Other setbacks is, actually there's quite a lot. This may sound like I'm complaining, but it's not. It's actually other setbacks is budget constraints. Sometimes you've got a good creative work, but then again, based on clients, sometimes clients' budget, that creative work may not come to life because of the budget constraints, things like that. Or maybe it could be some technical difficulties or technical problems wherein we still don't have yet the technology to do such execution, or we don't have the proper suppliers or third-party partners to do it for us. I mean, those kind of things, or even as basic as very short deadline, lead time. Those are some of the setbacks that we face every day. But we always get by it.
How are you able to identify a creative person?
How are I able to identify a creative person? Well, it's basically based on their work, their creative work, the creative output. You just see it, and the work tells if you are creative or not. And if it's fresh out of school, then we should see the theses, and then we give them tests, and we see if that person is creative enough for the agency or not. Just like one of you, who is my teammate, who we hired a long time ago, fresh out of school. Yeah, she's tough. Yeah, and she's good. And she's not from Taft.
Okay.
Sorry, Taft. Sorry, Taft guys, you better say Taft guys. Okay, next.
Yeah. It's the same question actually.
What question?
The number 9, it's almost the same as number 8. So we'll
Number 8? Yeah.
And the what qualities?
Yeah.
And then
At least they should know what what are the qualities of a creative person should have. Well, if you're a writer, hopefully you know how to write. If you are an art person, hopefully you know how to draw. Well, that's it. Those are like basic stuff, and then the other one is using all those basic stuff that and putting it into one good creative idea and showing it either visually or audibly or film. In your case, Mike. Putting that and expressing that idea of yours into those forms, or a combination of those forms.
Sir, okay, on the ads, in conceptualizing an ad campaign from the ground up, what is the first thing brought into the picture?
Well, the first thing that is brought into the picture is what is the brief. So what is the client brief? What does the client want? At the end of the day, what's the message they want to communicate? That is what's brought up on the table first in the ad agency, especially in the creative department. I mean, I suppose you're talking about creative.
Yes,
department.
sir.
Yeah, it's the brief. So we listen to the brief, and we try to understand the objective of the brief, and then from there we start doing our conceptualization or ideas.
Sir. Okay, so would it be possible to determine whether or not an ad campaign will be a successful before it gets broadcasted out? What are the telltale signs of it being so?
Well, usually a creative department or an ad agency would more or less know if the ad that they created will have like a buzz value or kumbaga in local terms, papatok sa consumer or magiging parang i-spoof ng bubble gun or gagawin ng meme. I mean, people would be saying it like, kunyari, ano ba yung famous term na yun? Dati, like what? Like, what are the famous terms that you use now na galing sa ad? Tagline ng isang ad, for example.
Rabado.
Dabadabadab, diba?
Dabadabadab.
Yeah, so there, the downy, di ba?
Yes.
Or di kaya yung PNG, kalaban ng isang kanta, yung sumay to the left, to the right, yung mga ganon, di ba?
Ay!
Or yung mga, di ba? Or di kaya kita-kit sa McDo before, or yung mga, the Jollibee stuff, yung mga, di ba? I mean, all those stuff, I mean, those are, kunyari, yung Enervon, more energy,
Mas
more
happy.
diba? So, I mean, those are the things that reverberate. So, sometimes the agency could have a gut feel na, you know, I think ito yun, this will work. And then we go to the client and we persuade them or, you know, suggest to them that this is it, unless they say otherwise. There you go.
Okay, sir. In your opinion, how is it most effective to reach the interest of the consumer? Like, what techniques and concepts, or for lack of a better word, tricks that you have in your bag to make the task
There are a lot of
Yeah.
there are a lot of tricks and magic tricks in there. I guess the most effective way to reach the interest of the consumer is to create an ad that would make your consumer spend time with it. Meaning, you know, when they watch your commercial on TV, they will not switch it to another
Yeah.
channel or even on web or on YouTube. When you have that small ad running,
Yeah.
they will not click skip. So those are the things that those are the I think the one of the most effective ways of hooking up with your consumer, because if your ad has got an interest or it connects to the consumer emotionally more than it is telling them, hey, now it's cheaper, or hey, now it has fortified with vitamins. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, because if they do not believe in the brand or what the brand can do, then it's not going, no matter what you say, no matter what you give to them, they will not buy that particular product. So, I mean, like, for example, what's your favorite brand?
Me,
I don't know.
Coke.
Coke. So,
Yes.
why do you love Coke?
Because I like their it's
Then why do you like it?
It can be found everywhere. It can be bought everywhere.
More than its physicality or availability everywhere. Why Coke? Why not Pepsi? It's everywhere too.
It tastes good for
Okay.
me.
Besides tasting good, Pepsi tastes good as well.
Yeah.
So why Coke?
I don't know, because
There you go. The I don't know because I prefer is that
Yeah.
unexplained, non-logical, emotional thing in you that nobody can take away. So that is what we have to connect with. I mean, the same way with you.
I don't
I mean,
know.
what's your favorite brand? Anything?
Jollibee.
Jollibee. Why do you like Jollibee?
I think their food is great.
Their food is great.
And yeah, it's pangmasa.
Ang masa.
Yeah.
But you don't look like you're a masa to me. Sorry.
I just prepared.
Mhm.
I just prepared.
And then what else?
Mm,
Why do you like Jollibee?
and ever since childhood,
Ah.
I've been a Jollibee fan.
Okay.
So it marks my youth.
No, there you go. I mean, there it marks her youth. So meaning maliit pa lang siya. And she grew up with it. I mean, kahit na-bribe siya ng kabilang kalaban or you know, Burger King or whatever, she will not budge. No, she will always eat Jollibee, regardless whether masarap yung food nila, hindi siya binigyan ng extra ice ng counter. She will still come back there because she likes Jollibee. You know, so it's all about loyalty, I guess. It's about, I guess the answer to that question, yeah, it's how do you connect that, how do you make that loyalty, how do you create that interest to the consumers that would make them, you know, love you for the rest of their life.
Okay, so after gathering numerous ideas from the brainstorming process,
Mhm.
what basis do you use when choosing the best idea?
Well, the basis that we use for choosing the best idea is that if that idea is in line with the brief or with the communication brief. Okay? For example, the communication brief is, kunyari, it's about the bread. And the end message is, malambot ang aming tinapay. Now, if there's an idea, that connects to that communication brief or that strategy na malambot ang aming tinapay, then that's the one that will probably work. The idea could be something like, I'm now setting an example. Sobrang lambot ng aming tinapay, you can sleep on it. Ganon. I mean, that's an idea that will, somehow connect with the communication na malambot ang tinapay. It's one of those techniques wherein there are many techniques of developing an idea, and what I have just explained is called a hyperbola. So it's an exaggeration of the message. I mean, sobrang lambot, you can sleep over it. You can sleep on it. So it can be your bed, blah, blah, blah. So it's a hyperbola. You exaggerate the message, and you say it in a different way, in an interesting way. Na, when the consumer says, oh, wow, ganun kalambot. You already have that imagination in your head. That must be really good. Imagine that. I can lie down at the same time, bite my bed.
When you're hungry.
When you're hungry, you don't have to go out. You just, bite your bed. Malambot, tinapay na yung bed. So something like that.
Okay, sir. So, how do you make sure that people will remember the brand and the ad? And how do you do it?
We pay them a lot of money. No. How do we make sure that the people will remember the brand in the ad, and how do you do it? Well, you just have to consistently communicate to them the same message. You just have to consistently talk to them. If you have like promos, you keep on talking to them the way you talk to them in your thematic campaign. Since you love Jollibee, now Jollibee has this promo na kunyari, when you buy anong tawag doon? Bili nila.
The 39ers.
Pa 39. Pag bumili ka ng 39ers, bibigyan ka pa namin ng 59ers. So it's that same. You always take care of them. You always go back to them, and you always try to be sincere about what you've been trying to say all the time. It's like it's like a relationship. Who has a boyfriend here? You?
I don't know.
You?
No.
You? You have a boyfriend? Of course not. So example, in a relationship, it's like, if kung tayo mag-boyfriend, girlfriend, ooh, and I don't talk to you anymore. Di ba masasama loob mo?
Yeah.
Diba? Nung una, ang dami-dami kong magkita kasi I'll give you that moon, I'll give you the star, that stuff. Tapos ngayon, I'm not giving you shit, di ba? So, how do you feel, di ba? So, it's the same way. So, it's just like consumers are humans, and they're not numbers and figures. You have to talk to them, and get in touch with them in a very human way.
Alright. So, may I just add, do taglines affect, like, how the consumers will remember it easily?
Yeah.
Taglines?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It does. What are the famous taglines that you know?
I really like the Rabadabang because it's so viral.
Okay, ikaw, what are the taglines that you know?
The one in
That you
Nescafe.
always remember? What?
Para kanino ka bumabangon.
And you? What's your favorite tagline?
What's my favorite tagline? Love ko to?
Yeah. So what's your favorite tagline, Mike?
Unleash the beast.
Unleash the beast. There you go. You're so macho. Stuff, man. Yeah. So there you go. So those are the things that resonate to you, diba? Those are like it's like a reflection of you, diba? So that's what you tend to connect with, and it's basically a feeling na nilagyan mo lang ng parang word or a coin, diba, to it. But it's basically that feeling of the brand in you. Na yun lang yung okay, so parang how do you express that brand? So it's this. Sometimes it's the year or the campaign period that it is. Sometimes the tagline changes, but still the essence of it is the same. They just use a particular tagline for a particular campaign period or campaign year, and then it changes again the next year, depending on what they want to add to the message. Kunyari, malambot ang tinapay na. Diba? So next year, uy, mas super lambot ang tinapay. It's just but still it has the same message.
Yeah.
It has the same essence.
Okay, so do you think ads should appeal to people's emotions for it to be remembered?
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so what are the things that should be avoided in making an ad? How does this affect that?
Well, what are the things that should be? Well, I think when you make an ad, it must not be what are the things you should do? Yeah, you must be true to the ad. Meaning, it must be believable. At the end of the day, hopefully the product can deliver.
Yeah.
Diba? I mean, like for example, kanina, malambot ang tinapay, pero pag binili mo sa grocery, sa escala, diba? I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, there's only so much an advertising agency can do, diba? What are the things you shouldn't do? You should be true about it, and it should be believable. Consumers can relate to it. I mean, those are the things that, I mean, if you start doing things that they can't relate to, they will just tune out.
Yeah, I just like to share because my sister often watch commercial. That's there is a product by Monday, the one with Maman, with the one with chocolate filling.
Done by Monday. Yeah.
Then it was shown in the commercial that ang dami niyang feelings sa loob. Then she bought one because she always try when there's something new. Then she found out that there's just a small portion of
malaki pa yung kulangot niya.
Yeah, then she started parang inaaway na niya kasi advertising ako. Sabi niya, wala naman to advertising, mga sinungaling lang.
You know what your sister should do? She looks at the back cover of it.
Yeah.
Diba, doon back packaging. May nakalagay doon, customer service number hotline. Tawagan mo. Complain mo.
Kasi parang nagko-complain na siya, pero nabili pa rin siya. Tapos inaaway niya na.
Pero yung problema, sa'yo siya nag-live.
Ako, kasi mo advertising.
Pwede mong gawin, copy mo yung feeling sa loob. Sabi mo, every time she buys, buksan mo na, tutukan mo na sa loob. Kasi tago mo na rin agad. Yeah, but yes, it's true. A lot of consumers complain sometimes that, wow, when I see it on TV, when I see it on online or in the picture, it looks so delicious, it looks so wow.
Good.
Ang galing, di ba? Even that unleashed, what's that?
Unleashed.
Pagbili mo na sa sakyan, what happens? Walang may lemon. Is that a car ad or what?
Sir, it's for Monster Energy.
Oh yeah, there. Tapos minsan, di ba, pag inom mo, parang placebo lang, di ba? Hindi ako mandar, hindi ako nagtagal. So then you can tell the brand. I mean, that's the power of, I guess, the digital age nowadays, that you can tweet it, you can Facebook it, you can rant and all that stuff. People may sympathize with you, some will hate you, some will, it doesn't matter as long as you say your point. And yeah, it happens a lot. Overpromise is what they call it. And we in JWT we are cautious about it. That we ask the brands, are you sure your product can deliver? I mean, can we see the product? Can we test the product? Can we taste it? Can we run it? Can we drive it? And that's the thing. And if it doesn't work on us, oh Jesus Lord, how can we say a different thing about this?
Yeah.
You know. It's delicious, but it's not much that feeling though. Come on, guys, be honest about it. Or, if we're going to shoot the product, we're going to do a commercial about it, we're going to photograph it. I mean, let's just show it the way it is. Or, that is a little bit beautiful. I mean, yeah, like before, I've been working with food, and wow, ganda-ganda ng products. Food shop, wow, it's so yummy. So you want to run to the store and buy it immediately. But the thing mo, after 30 minutes of long line, Gutom na gutom ka na, di ba? Late ka na sa pagbalik mo sa klase. Pagbigay sa'yo ng burger, parang sinagasaan ng tricycle. Diba? So that's not fair, man. That's not fair. So yeah, I mean,
Okay, sir. So, are these processes the same with the different types of advertisements, like for television, print, and radio? And cite the similarities or differences.
yeah, there are the process of what you mean, what to avoid.
Yes, sir, no, the whole process of creating.
No, it's different. It's different. In television, they have a there is a different process. Well, basically, wait a minute. The process, we mean generating an idea. Is that what you mean? Or is it the
Yes.
technical? Yeah, generating ideas is also almost the same. Especially if you have a campaign that will run on across all platforms. So basically, meron siyang television format, meron siyang print format, may outdoor format siya, digital, even on-ground activation or what have you. Yeah, it's the same. You just come up with one big idea, one great big idea, and then you put the executions under it. Executions that is for television, execution that is for print, execution that is for radio. Of course, you cannot put a radio script on print because you have to read it, you know, so, and you can't put a print on radio. I mean, so you have to. I mean, given that same idea, you would have to create a radio commercial that is very oral at the same time visual when you listen to it.
Okay, sir. So, what is the main focus of the ads that you make? Is there a common theme or common message you try to convey to the audience aside from the product itself?
Yeah. Every ad that we make or every campaign ad that we make has a particular message. So depending on the brand and communication strategy that they plan to communicate for that particular campaign is what we are always focusing on. I mean, at the end of the day, when we create the ad, when we create the television, the print, the radio, there is always that communication coming out, I mean, regardless of the creativity that has gone to it. I mean, the net takeaway should be that. For example, nga yung malambot ang tinatawag. So, execution might be, si Sonia might be lying na tinapay na tama. But then again, at the end of the day, the main message is malambot ang tinapay. Diba?
Okay, so now we're gonna ask about the company, JWT. From the website of JWT, it stated that World Made is the creative philosophy of JWT.
Mhm.
So how does it affect or strike the consumer from getting his or her attention?
Well, yeah, World Made is basically a coin by the JWT Global agency, which somehow pulls together talents, ideas across the globe. Because there are inspirations that you can get that has been done in the U.S. or in Europe that you can apply in your own country, and at the same time vice versa. Therefore, it is easier for you to make your communication transcend globally. For example, what I say here na malambot ang tinapay can be understood by people in Saudi Arabia or in Dubai, diba? Or in Europe or in the US, I mean, or in China or in wherever, diba? Except the moon. So, yun, yeah, that is what it meant. So these are basically a pool of global talents, global inspirations, global ideas put together into one big, great advertising company.
So how is World Made an edge from the other advertising agency? How is it different since some are also known worldwide?
Well, I don't know about the other advertising agencies, but I feel that I think that World Made has an advantage with them because this also connotes collaboration between agencies in the Philippines and in the region and also in all the other networks that we have. Meaning we can gather resources, data, ideas, talents from other agencies around the world and that we can apply here in our, for example, local campaign that we can use, and even they, our partners, our brothers and sisters across the globe, can also, we can also help contribute to their projects or to their ideas or what their clients would need. So I guess that's the edge there. The collaboration is not just within the nation or within the region, but it's global. So maybe I'm not pretty sure about the other agencies. It's hard to say. I really don't know.
So JWT holds a number of firsts in the Philippines. First to apply strategic planning, the first to introduce branded entertainment, and even the first to claim a branded Guinness World Record. Do these series of firsts pressured you in such a way that since JWT is the first one to do it, JWT should also be the number one, the best in that field? Why or why not?
Well, yeah, it's a pressure to all of us to always be the first. I mean, everybody wants to be the first. I mean, when it comes to agency reputation and all that, everybody wants to be at the top. So yeah, there is pressure, but that pressure is good pressure. I mean, that is a good challenge. That's a good exercise because at the end of the day, it makes everybody in JWT Manila up to their toes, and they were not resting our laurels. And yeah, you may quote me on that. We're not resting on our laurels. Always try to be number one.
And how does it?
Actually, wala dito yung no. We're the first agency to win the Cannes Gold in the country. So, close to Guinness World Record maybe. Yeah.
So
They're always the first. Well, because of that world-made thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of the network. The network's really, it's a closely knit group. Basically, you can easily tap someone from. I can actually, email our global CEO if I have some other questions or concern directly to him. And he can answer me back directly. That's how we do it here.
So how does it affect the creative department of JWT? This.
To being number one,
Yeah.
being always the first. Well, yeah, it affects us in a way. It gives us pride that we are known to be always the first to come up with this, always the first to win this, always the first to do this. It's a pride. At the same time, it's also a challenge to us, which is again a good challenge. That we always have to hone ourselves to be better and to be always on our toes, and to keep on discovering, studying, researching what is new, what can be done first, what can be, what is it that hasn't been done before. Yeah.
So being the pioneer ad here in the Philippines, what is something that you have that the other agencies don't have?
Me. And a lot. Where's that? Wala naman dito yan ah.
Number 22.
22. These are something that you have that other agencies doesn't. Well, I don't know. I think we have a great coffee maker here. I think what we have here basically is, besides the great set of talents or group of people, from the creatives, my boss David Ferrer, all the creative directors, associate creative directors, art directors, copywriters in the creative department, hand in hand with the accounts people, the finance people, the management. I think what we have is this kind of relationship that is very open, meaning not as open as personal stuff, but meaning it's like a flat organization wherein you can easily talk to the CEO face to face and address your concerns, and she'll help you out with it. People, always, if you ask for help, there will always be somebody who will jump in to help you. So that's the kind of thing that that we have here. We all roll up our sleeves and get down to business. regardless whether it's a boss or the junior, or the more senior, or the second to God, whatever. We all do the work, and we all collaborate closely to one another. We always try to help out and support, and if and better things. For example, if she's doing something and I saw it, or she showed it to me and asked for my opinion, we always try to give our thoughts on how to better it more. That's probably the reason why we are always the first. We always try to do things much better. We're not, we just don't rest now. Yeah, okay, yeah, kasi we've done that before, right? Successful naman, so we can do it again. And it's the safest way you can go.
What is the idea behind the World Maker Show that JWT launched around a year back?
JWT launch. Oh yeah, it's basically what I explained earlier. It's it's a pool of ideas, resources around the world, interconnected somehow, collaborating to one another, to support a particular campaign or a particular ad or even a particular cause or an innovation. And that's basically the idea. It's being world. It's almost like being world class, but it's even beyond world class, because world class meron ka lang first class, second class, third class, diba? It's not that, but it goes beyond that. So it's basically it's like when one agency creates an idea, it can transcend or it can be communicated the same way in other global companies or in other global offices. But that's the meaning of world made.
How important are festivals like Cannes and SXSW to JWT? Are the local festivals just as important too? How so?
What is XSSW?
Sir, South by Southwest.
South by Southwest. Okay. Alam ko, there's a new award given by. Okay. It is important because I think since JWT, it's important for our reputation as well. As a creative agency, we're known as a creative agency, and not only as a creative agency, but an effective creative agency, meaning we can. It's not only about creativity, but it's also about consumer connection and making sure that the brand, works, or that the brand also earns their money back. Because it translates to sales. So yeah, all this work, DNAD, Clio, they're very important to JWT. It builds our reputation as a good creative agency. And the other aspect to that is that it also attracts new talent to come to us, and at the same time it also attracts new clients, that come to us and say, hey, you guys are good.
So far, with the awards that the company has received, what do you think was the best award? And how did this award increase your credibility as an ad agency?
Well, I think one of the biggest award-giving body in the world is Cannes and Clio, and the third one would be DNAD. I think we all have it. Yeah, we all have that. Yes, we do. We do have all of them. And how did this award increase your credit? It can increase a lot. I mean, there are a lot of clients who are calling us, prospective clients who are calling us into, try to bid out with them, and or sometimes the client just walks in the door and asks if we can do an ad for them. Yeah, there are a lot of walk-ins. I mean, even talents, walk-in and all that. Although we can just sometimes we can just accommodate so much. So it's not only the credibility, but it also increased our pockets as well. So keeps us, keeps all the people, having to bring the bacon and the dinner table. Yeah.
Okay. Sir, just shift.
Shift.
Yeah,
Okay, pause mo muna.
Boss.
Pause mo muna.